Well, good evening, South Mississippi. Happy Thursday evening. It's a really nice day. We did see a few showers out there, but as we moved into the overnight hours, we've started to see that fog start to develop once again. And as we go into the next couple days, those afternoon showers and pop-up storms are going to become a little bit more likely, especially as we go into the weekend. So I'm going to give you a detailed breakdown with Futurecast here of the next about 2 or 3 days. I have a couple different things going on, so we'll keep a close eye on that. But here's what it looks like out there right now. This is the Hancock Whitney camera over in Gulfport. You can see that fog already starting to roll in across a lot of South Mississippi. And as we go into the overnight hours, we'll certainly start to see that fog become very dense in some spots. We'll keep an eye out for that during the early morning hours. Just make sure if you do encounter dense fog on the morning commutes, make sure you use those low beams. You may want to go ahead and give yourself a little bit of extra time to get wherever you're going. That way, if you do encounter any of that really dense fog, you're in no rush out there. Well, right now at the Gulfport Airport, it is 70 degrees. Dew point in the upper 60s. That may limit how cool we can get overnight. Humidity very high right now. Visibility starting to drop as that fog is starting to push a little bit further inland. Of course, this is for the location that this data is coming from is the Gulfport Airport. So you are seeing on the camera view just a little bit further south from that actual location. As for the forecast going into the overnight hours into early tomorrow morning, those scattered showers are going to become a little bit more likely, especially as we move into the early morning. And during the day tomorrow for sure, we could see at least a few scattered showers out there. You can see the overnight temperatures in the upper 60s across most of South Mississippi. That breeze out of the south is going to become a little bit lighter, especially as we move into the late night, early morning hours, and that's really going to help with the development of some of that fog. Now, here's Futurecast visibility, trying to show you that really dense fog in the yellow color, and you can see it's very patchy throughout most of the night. However, during the very early morning hours, about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, it does get very dense at times, and then going into early tomorrow morning, that's when we do start to see things clear up pretty quickly. The daylight heating really helps mix that fog on out, and so we'll definitely start to see things improve from there. But as we go into the next couple of days, we're kind of settling into that same pattern. Fog in the morning, scattered showers possible throughout the day, then a couple isolated showers and storms as we go into the afternoon. That will be the story for tomorrow, and especially as we go into Saturday. And then Sunday, we do finally have a system that's going to start to move on through, very slowly though, and that could bring the chance for some more rain across the area, which is much needed. We have had those drought conditions worsen on this morning's update to the drought monitor, and I can show you that here. You can see across most of the area, not too much change, especially in the central parts of the area. You do have like Jackson, Harrison, Stone, and George. Not too much change. They're still in the abnormally dry category. However, moderate drought has started to expand into Hancock and Pearl River County. Also notes just to our north up in the Pine Belt, a severe drought is starting to expand. We do want to keep an eye on that one. Also notes to our south and west there, just south of New Orleans, that is extreme drought conditions. Also Florida in the severe to extreme drought condition as well. So definitely could use the rain, although there's not a lot of it in the forecast. However, there is definitely some. You can see here the Storm Prediction Center does have a severe weather outlook. This is for Saturday night into Sunday morning. That's when that system does start to move into the area. And then we'll have to keep an eye on things. A few strong storms are possible, but once again, we'll get to that here on Futurecast. Let's start with tonight, though. Fog is going to be the main story for tonight with those very light south winds, the high humidity, really good conditions for some very dense fog to develop, especially during the overnight and early morning hours. A few isolated showers will be possible throughout the day tomorrow. You can see it right there, showers, maybe an isolated storm or two. You can see that mainly over in Louisiana, but as we continue to push throughout the day, there's Friday night fog becoming an issue once again. Winds a little bit more out of the southeast, but still very light in some spots. That could be a source for some of that very dense fog once again. And then once we get into Saturday morning, so this is where things are going to start to change a little bit. You do start to see those winds a bit more out of the south. Scattered showers will become a little bit more likely throughout the day on Saturday. And then let's go into Saturday night. This is when that front does start to approach from our north. And you can see that right behind there, a few showers, a few storms are going to be possible. Some of those may be on the stronger side. And then let's move this into Sunday morning, where that front will start to stall. And once it does, well, wherever it does stall could become the focal point for some more of those scattered showers and thunderstorms, some of which may be on the stronger side. So this is still very far out. This is early Sunday morning that we're looking at here. So there's still plenty of time for this to change. This is the very first look that we're getting from these short range forecast models. They only go 2 to 3 days out. So this is very uncertain data right now. This is super dependent on exactly where that front stalls, how fast it's moving. It depends on how fast these storms are moving along or behind the front. So we're going to have to keep an eye on a couple of different things. So definitely, if you do have outdoor plans over the weekend, I would say they're still good to go for now. Have a plan B just in case this does turn out to be a much more rainier situation. But as of right now, it does look very scattered. Few showers, maybe a few storms, some of which may become strong. Of course, the Storm Prediction Center does have that severe weather outlook, but as of right now, it is still just a little too far out to be completely certain of what we're expecting. Now, in terms of those drought conditions, well, we're not expecting a whole lot to change. Well, that's because, well, once this moves on in, the rainfall is going to be very dependent, once again, on exactly where that front stops moving and how long it stays there. But widespread, we're talking about an inch of rain for most of South Mississippi. Some spots, if you get those slower moving storms that produce that heavier rain, we could be pushing more into 1.5 to 2 inches. And then on the other hand, if this remains very scattered and if the front really does stay further to the north, then we may go the opposite direction, many of us around 1/2 inch or less. So still a couple different scenarios that we do have to work out. We're going to continue to wait on more data until we do make a final decision on that. But at least for now, just think scattered showers, maybe a few thunderstorms as we go into the weekend. Think of a very typical summer day. It's a little bit warm out there, and we're going to see that chance for those pop-up storms. As far as temperatures go, the next couple of days, we are going to remain very warm. We're locked in this same pattern that we have been for the past couple of days. Coastal temperatures are going to be around those mid-70s. Thanks to that breeze coming off of the water, helping things keep a little bit cooler out there. Inland areas north of I-10, that's where we could see those temperatures continue to make it into the low 80s the next couple of days. Sunday, if that cold front can make it just a little bit further south, then we could see a little bit of a cool down there. Sunday, temperatures down in the 70s for the entire area, not just the coast. But once again, that's just dependent on where the front ends up stalling. Just something that we do want to keep an eye on over the next couple of days. So let's talk about that 7-day forecast. Things look pretty good across the area for the next several days. Just kind of recapping, we do want to keep a very close eye on Saturday and Sunday. Mainly the highest chance of rain is going to be as that front starts to push in. That would be Saturday nights into early Sunday morning. The timing still a little bit uncertain there, so we're going to continue to wait for a little bit more data. Once we get into next week, there are some signs that maybe towards the middle of the week we see some higher rain chances. We'll have to keep an eye on that as well. That could be a larger system that does bring some cooler air behind it as well. You can see that on Thursday, temperatures down around 70 for your afternoon high. So that would definitely be at least a little bit of a cooler trend. But for now, we are stuck in that spring-like, almost summer-like pattern where it is warm with those scattered showers and the fog in the morning.